At the beginning of the episode, we see she returns the ring that was once lost and says that Xiaobao has a school performance in a few days and she will prepare him for it one last time. Her voice sounds strong, but her eyes clearly show pain. That same night, Xian's aunt asks her assistant if he knows anything special about Chain, and he reveals that in college, Chain had planned to specialize in surgery, but after getting injured while saving a small child in an accident, she changed her field to child psychology, and since then has devoted herself to caring for children. The next day, Xian meets client Jia, who had earlier canceled the deal, but now smiles and says he has changed his decision and wants to sign the deal because he met Chain, who convinced him. Xian remains silent for a moment with pride and love visible in his eyes. Later that evening, Chain goes again to help Xiaobao prepare for his performance, and after some time, Ning also arrives, and Chain reassures Xiaobao not to be scared and says Ning uncle will stay with him during the performance. During this, a mistake causes Xiaobao's voice recorder to fall, which records Chain telling Ning that she loves Xian and will break when all this ends. Later, when Chain realizes her phone is missing, she returns to Xian's house to get it, and finds him listening to that recording in her own voice saying, "I love you." She quickly tries to snatch the device, but Xian holds her hand, and her face turns red with embarrassment as she runs away while Xian stands there smiling, because now he is sure she truly loves him. The next day during event preparations, Xian directly asks her if she loves him, and Chain shyly says it was just a joke, but his eyes reveal he already knows the truth. That night, Xian, Chain, and Xiaobao are together in a hotel room where Chain sings the same lullaby she has always sung to put the child to sleep. Elsewhere, Aunt He is startled while talking on the phone as she recognizes the voice, because it was the same lullaby heard on the night of the accident. The truth is revealed that it was Chain who saved Xiaobao that night, the same child whose mother died in the accident. At that time, she was on a call with Xian, and even after the accident, the call remained connected, and the lullaby she sang to comfort the child was heard by Xian himself. And the shocking truth is that the car that night was being driven by none other than Xian. The next day, the school performance takes place, and the three of them spend a lovely day together. But in the evening, Lin corners Xian again, saying if he marries her, his company's reputation will grow. And Xian coldly replies, he will never marry her. Lin argues that he only married Chain so she could take care of his son, and adds that she is very good at bonding with children. Lin says that Xiaobao will feel more connected to her than anyone else, and cleverly takes Xiaobao fishing where she pretends to fall into the water and falsely accuses the child of pushing her. Xian angrily pulls her out and tells her to stay out of his life from now on, and that he will never work with her again. He returns to the room, but Chain is not there, and Xiaobao says she also went fishing, so Xian immediately runs out and finds Chain unconscious in the forest with a snake nearby. Xian rushes her to the hospital where the doctor says she was not bitten, but fainted from fear. When Chain wakes up, she softly says only 6 hours are left before their contract ends, and Xian takes a deep breath and agrees if that is what she wants. The next day, when they return home, Chain is surprised when Xian comes back with a new contract, and she tiredly refuses to sign anything, but he smiles and asks her to at least read it, and then reads it aloud, saying, "Party a Xian party B, Chain." Xian truly loves Chain and wants this relationship to last forever, and that this contract will never end. Tears fill Chain's eyes as her breath falters, and she smiles through tears as she steps forward, and the distance between them finally disappears. Just as they move closer, Ning's voice is heard outside calling Xian and saying he has 2 concert tickets and had come to confess his feelings. But when he opens the door, he sees that Chain and Xian now belong to each other, and shock, pain, and a lost dream reflect in his eyes. Chain returns to Xian's home, and they spend the night watching movies, smiling as if no pain remains in their lives. The next day at the office, Lin directly tells Xian she wants to marry him for the company's benefit, but he immediately replies that he loves Chain and can never love anyone else. Lin confronts Chain, claiming their marriage is fake, but Xian publicly that they are truly together now. The next day, Xian takes Chain on a romantic date and goes fishing where she struggles to catch fish and accidentally falls onto him, bringing them very close as their eyes lock and time seems to stop. Meanwhile, Lin's mother pressures her about marrying Xian, and she admits he loves someone else and even removed her from the company, which makes her mother furious, saying their family depends on that marriage. That same night, Xian's aunt calls Chain to a restaurant and tells her Xiaobao is now fine and speaking normally, so she is no longer needed, but Chain calmly says she and Xian are officially together and deeply in love. The aunt warns that their social status is very different and the relationship will only bring pain, and advises her to leave. But Xian arrives and firmly tells his aunt that he loves Chain and no one can separate them, and asks her not to interfere before taking Chain away. Later, Lin goes to Ning, asking for anxiety medication, and he advises her to see a psychiatrist as her condition is worsening, but she angrily refuses and demands medicine, so he reluctantly gives it warning. It is the last time. Meanwhile, Chain tells Xian she wants his aunt to like her, and asks what she likes. So he says golf, and Chain buys many golf books, practices daily, and even learns from him just to impress her. One day, she sees Aunt He arguing with a man on the street and thinks he is troubling her, but later learns he is the driver from the accident night, who has been blackmailing her for 5 years to keep the truth hidden. When Chain asks what truth, the aunt reveals that Xian himself was driving the car that night in the accident that killed his brother and sister-in-law, and he lost his memory afterward. So she blamed the driver to protect him, and also reveals that the child Chain Xian saved that night was Xiaobao. Chain is shaken and unsure whether to leave Xian to protect him from the truth or stay and risk his memories returning. That night, Xian says he once saw a girl from behind 5 years ago and searched for her, but now only loves Chain, and she realizes she was that girl but keeps it hidden. This is where the episode comes to an end, and to watch the next episode, make sure to subscribe to the channel and do not forget to press the bell icon.